Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at my favorite team so far for the Sunshine Cup. I went 13-2 with this team. We have a deep dive video here, so we're going to have it all ordered again for like positive leads, for neutral leads, and for negative leads. We're going to have mainly negative leads here as well, which I also encountered with this team. I had mostly bad leads with this team and I still got a 13-2 with this, and so this kind of showcases as well how strong this team can actually be. And yeah, like this team got me up to over 2,400 MMR, which is at the current time most likely, like if the leaderboards would be out, most likely somewhere like rank, like the page 1 or page 2, so like top 100, most likely guaranteed actually, based on what I've seen so far, and also based on my queue times. After I played this team, I had like queue times of 10 minutes for one battle, which is kind of insane. Like this kind of the queue times that you can expect if you are in the top 20 of the world, which is kind of mad. So like this team definitely was one of the best teams that you can run right now, and we're going to take a look a little bit deeper into it. Here, first 3 battles going to be like battles where I win the lead. There are not that many Pokemon where actually Bubble Jellicent is going to hard win the lead, but still, Bubble Jellicent is kind of a cool tech move here for sure, and also Magcargo is a cool tech move, and I have to say MVP for this team is for sure the Magcargo. I don't know why, but this Pokemon was absolutely wild, and we're going to take a look at this here today as well. Of course, here first battle we're going to have the Digger be aligned correctly, which is kind of nice for us. We can go for the super effective Bubble plus super effective Surf, which is kind of cool for us as well. The opponent tries to go for a Scorching Sand to drop actually my attack, which they do here, which is kind of bad for me. I have to say, very, very bad for me. But Shadow Ball is going to be able to knock them out here, and we still kind of have to hope that I can still reach a Surf in time. But I swap out here, and I have to hope that they don't farm up enough energy to go for 2 Scorching Sands. Now, they could go for that if they have 100 energy, but they don't, and so we can still win this battle here, which was quite close, even though we won the lead. But it is kind of fine as we can move on to the next one. Vigoroth in the lead, and this is kind of why you want to run Bubble. Bubble is going to make this matchup 20 times better, basically. You're going to do consistent damage with your fast move plus your charge move. You still win with Hex, though. Like, Hex is like also an option that you can go for, but Bubble is just going to make this matchup a little bit easier, and just does, like, in general, more damage than Hex, which is kind of cool, especially after the recent buff. And this is something that happens so often. People try to, say stop their Charger bug, and we have a hard answer to this Pokemon in the back here with the Magcargo. It is still not really actually my favorite matchup, because still the electric typing is going to hurt me quite a bit here, so we are going to be below half health going out of this matchup, but with one fast move advantage. And also, yeah, we can try to go for another charge move here, which does not work out, but yeah, alignment is very, very key here anyway. We're gonna see the Rock Slide coming through, which is kind of cool for me. I can go for the full farm down against the opponent's Vigoroth, and now I have my own Vigoroth. I have a ton of energy, and they're going to have in the back the Toxic packs. Here it's kind of awkward that we don't have the move Hex, because yeah, Hex generates more energy and also going to be neutral, but still this matchup is still very good for us. Like, honestly, Jellicent is doing quite a decent job here, and as you're gonna see, the opponent is forced to go for a charge move. I can let the move go through. I still have 2 shields, and 2 shields of Vigoroth against the Toxapex is an easy victory, and yeah, I can just go for the Body Slam spam. I need 3 Body Slams here. The opponent would need to go for 3 charge moves as well. Minimum, most likely actually 4 charge moves here. And so there's nothing the opponent can do. Like, literally, there's nothing they can do. I think they're going to realize it very soon here as well, that there's nothing that they can do, or they just going to play it out. I don't know. We will see here. The Body Slam going to be able to get them low enough for another one. They just have a great time here. I think they just have a great time going for those poison jabs there. Oh, they tried their best with the Sludge Wave, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have another great lead here. This is the last positive lead for us. We had actually in total 4 positive leads throughout 15 games, which is not really that crazy good. I had 4 neutral ones, and I had 7 negative ones, kind of. Neutral ones are also something like, for example, a Quagsire or a Swampert for me, by the way, because, like, yeah, you're going to be able to maybe beat them in some scenarios, but it's actually not as ideal. Here, we were able to now align ourselves. We can even go for the Rock Tomb, which in this case was actually not that smart. I mean, maybe. Like, we're going to be able to resist the move here anyway, so, like, it is going to make it even easier. But if we went for the Overheat, we would have done more damage. They go into a Stunfisk, I can go for the super effective damage here, and I can just swap out into my, Vigoroth, and this is going to be an easy victory for us. So, easy kind of to play out, of course, winning leads, and that's why I kind of want to have them here in the beginning. Now we're going to move on to some more neutral ones. As I said before, while this is okay for you in general, but yeah, you think like, okay, yeah, Jellicent is like a water-type Pokemon, Swampert mainly does damage in terms of like water-type damage, but it is still a ground-type Pokemon that is going to be able to go for an Earthquake, and so here you have to respect the Earthquake. This is still neutral damage, like throughout the board, the opponent goes always for neutral damage here, and so we're going to be in a decent spot. They swap out into the Pidgeot. That is great for us. Again, Pidgeot is going to get completely walled by our Pokemon in the back, but we don't have to swap into that straight away. We can get some energy first and now swap out into the Magcargo. Because what you want to do here is you want to go for the full farm down if possible. Issue is Feather Dance actually is quite annoying here. Feather Dance is going to drop our attack now even lower because they're gonna go ahead and go for one more Feather Dance. So we're at minus 4 attack, which is the maximum drop chance there for the opponent as well. So we barely do any damage here. But as you're gonna see, the Brave Bird is coming through. We can go for the full farm down, and the opponent is going to have now in the back here the Typhlosion. That's totally okay for me. I can go for the Rock Tomb. I don't know why they didn't go into the lead again, but I can swap out here even, keep my Magcargo a little bit around, go for that Surf, and force the final shield from the opponent. I can let the move go through if I want to here, and I do decide to let the move go through because still my Vigoroth going to be able to win the game here for sure for me. I swap into Swampert, and this game is over. Another neutral one, it would be a Jellicent if it runs Bubble. If it runs Hex, it's a bad one. Here, this is literally the definition of a neutral lead because you literally have the same Pokemon. But as you're gonna see, we're gonna be able to catch a Shadow Ball. I kind of want to maybe do this. It is a tricky one. Like, this is definitely a tricky matchup in general here because the issue is that Jellicent is going to have a crazy good matchup still here with Bubble, as we said before, as well against our Vigoroth. So we were able to catch a Shadow Ball, but we don't even get to 2 Rock Slides, and this is kind of awkward. Now I can overfarm on my own Jellicent, but I get rid of my one Pokemon, and so it's basically now the switch advantage for, yeah, kind of, I don't know, to knock out the opponent, to have still some energy on my Jellicent. The opponent has a Charger Bug here. I can swap out into my Magcargo. They got quite a lot of fast moves in there, which I feel like does not really look like accurate. Look at the, like, what is this? Like, seriously, what is this? What is this game we are playing here? Why is it so laggy? Like, what is happening? We decided to use a shield here. This is going to be maybe the hardest hitting move. Definitely the hardest hitting move, as they went for the Shadow Ball. They could have went for the bait, but we can go for the Rock Tomb and not knock them out, but we can farm them down now, and this game is over. Like, there's nothing the opponent can do. Next opponent, Pidgeot. Basically also a very neutral lead. Like, this is, because of Bubble, it's a neutral lead. If we had Hexed, it would be a bad lead for sure. But because it's Bubble, we kind of both do neutral damage, and it is kind of a neutral one. The opponent sets you the shield. Fine by me. Here's the tricky part. You can call the bait, which I tried to do, which definitely did not work out. And now we're going to have the trickier part. Lanturn. Lanturn is a Pokemon that I kind of want to talk about because Lanturn is the core breaker for this team. Lanturn is just the core breaker for this team. It is still possible to deal with it. It is better for you if it is Water Gun, because I feel like it's just easier to deal with for this team in general. Spark is a little bit more tricky because also the energy generation, but as you can see here, we can still deal with this Pokemon. We can knock them out. We are kind of in a decent spot. They're gonna go back into the Pidgeot. They can go for the Rock Side. I'm in a decent spot here, but again, like, Lanturn is, like, can be a little bit of a trickier one, I have to say. Anyway, we're going to see the opponent going for a charge move now. It's going to hopefully be the Brave Bird. It is the Feather Dance. Actually better for me, and I can swap out now, keep my Magcargo. This is a little bit of a risky play, because now they can go for another Feather Dance here, or they can just go for the Brave Bird and just barely do any damage against me and forfeit. Okay, next one. We're going to see here now some more neutral lead, actually. We're going to have the Quagsire against us. We can try to go for a Shadow Ball against them, I guess. But as you're going to see here, the opponent going to go for the Stone Edge. Going to do quite a lot of damage. And we can now go for the Double Surf. I think Double Surf is the better play to go for. And this is a very much a neutral lead here. Like, this is, like, I would not put this as like a positive lead. Because as you can see here, we're forced to use a shield. The Stone Edge would do enough damage to knock us out. And so we're going to be forced to go for a Bubble and Surf against the opponent's Vigoroth. This is still a little bit of a trickier one, because they can reach that Rock Slide eventually, and I'm gonna try to catch that Rock Slide on my own Vigoroth most likely here, as I can swap out now. It does not work out, but hopefully I can farm down before they can go for a double Body Slam. That would be quite crucial. As we see the first Body Slam, we can farm them down in time. They still have the switch advantage here, I guess, and also the shield advantage. Like, I guess we kind of have such advantage, to be fair. But yeah, shield advantage the opponent still has here. We can go for a body slam, and we're going to be able to get that shield back, which is quite important as we get the opponent very low. And so even with the shield that we have, we would be able to incinerate them down eventually. And they make a crucial mistake here as well by not going for the Stone Edge. We can still survive that awkward heal, knock out the Quagsire, and it is going to be in the back that Pidgeot again, and we can say goodbye to that one. Moving on to the next one. Now we're going to start with the horrible leads for us. Look at this. Magnezone is not going to be a lead that you want to encounter as a water-type Pokemon. And Toxapex is also not the Pokemon that you want to encounter. But with the amount of Toxapex that you're able to bait out here, there's something funny going to happen now, which you're going to see as well. There's actually two ways of playing this one out, by the way. There's one way where you use the shield here, which we don't do this time around, but you could do. It depends on what the opponent goes for. If they go for the Brine, it is going to be a little bit awkward. If they go for the Sludge Wave, you can definitely get the shield back, I think. If you go for the shield and you go for another Body Slam, you put them into a farm down range for the Jellicent. This is of course not farm down range yet, but I can go for the full bubble up basically to get up to, I think, 99 energy at this point. Shadow Ball is going to connect, knock them out, and we can even reach another Shadow Ball. But I don't really care too much if they use a shield or not. Of course, we would knock them out if they don't. But I have now the shield advantage with Magcargo. As long as they don't have a hard counter in the back here, we should be kind of fine. Mirror Shot is not going to drop my attack, and look at this. It's going to be the Trevenant. And I decided to go for the Rock Tomb. And this is why Rock Tomb is so cool. Rock Tomb can guarantee drop the opponent's attack, and so we can take a hit here if we want to. Which we do, it's going to be a Shadow Ball, and we can still take it, and we can farm down the opponent here. We can use a shield, Incinerate came through, and say goodbye to the Magnezone. Let's go for the next opponent. Jellicent against Trevenant. Even if you have Hex, this is a bad lead for you, but we don't have Hex, and so we are forced to swap out straight away. We're going to have the Toxapex in the back, and we have kind of a similar scenario as we just had as well. We're going to be kind of walled here completely from my lead as well as my Say Swap, but we can still take advantage of this because we can resist everything on our Jellicent from the opponent's Toxapex. And this means we can try to reach another Body Slam, which we might actually be able to do because we got some energy advantage previously. And here I decided to use a shield, which is kind of silly because I went for Brine, but this should also just be a Brine, and so I think I can still get to a back-to-back Body Slam, and I doubt that the opponent wants to give up their Switch advantage. And what this means now is I should be able to either get like Switch and put my Fire type against the Grass type Pokemon, or get a ton of energy on my Jellicent. They decided to let the move go through, and so it's down to my Magcargo, trying to farm them all the way down. They have energy advantage, which is quite awkward for us, and Shadow Ball is going to now get shielded by us, and we see the Tentacruel coming in, and this is crucial. Tentacruel needs 8 fast moves to get to a Scald. So, as the opponent went for 3 already, we can go for 2 more fast moves and now swap out into our Jellicent. This is going to be a resisted, debuffed Scald, which is hopefully not going to drop our attack. It does straight away, 30% chance to drop our attack, and we got it straight away. But at least, like, the likelihood of them getting another drop here is in total like 9%, and so of course they get it. Of course they get it. It is what it is. We can still at least go for 1 Shadow Ball, and now we don't knock them out, which is okay for us because they can get some extra energy. Issue is now, because of the 2 debuffs here, Surf does no damage. Like, literally. If we got no debuff, Surf would have done basically double what you see there, and now we have to hope that Magcargo somehow can win. Can we survive a Shadow Ball? We can survive it. Can we still go for the farm down? We can knock them out here and move on to the next opponent. Oh, look at this, a Serperior. Serperior is not going to be something that I want to deal with. I can outspeed them though with my Vigoroth, which is quite important. So like we can always outspeed them with a Body Slam. Body Slam needs 5 fast moves. We both have 2 turn fast moves anyway, and the opponent needs 6 to get to a Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant connects. I rather basically go for the Zero Shield scenario here. And we see the worst possible Pokemon to encounter. It is going to be that Lanturn. We can go for a Rock Slide, which does a little bit more damage, I think. Like, I think it does 3 more base damage, basically. I think, like, Rock Slide is 75 damage. You have a 20% stab boost on Body Slam, which is 60 damage, so, like, that would go up to 72, and so you have, like, a 3 difference for Rock Slide. If you only get to 1 move, Rock Slide is just, like, by a 1 HP damage or whatever later on, the better move to go for. Here I go straight for the Surf, which is a little bit silly, but it actually works out, getting the shield from the opponent. Now we have to hope and pray that we can still reach that Shadow Ball, because Magcargo does not want to face a Water Gun variant of Lanturn. But this game is still very difficult. But they swap out into their Serperior, and we can luckily get to 3 Incinerates. If they only go down by like 2 Incinerates, they would have been able to knock me out straight away now with the Lanturn. But if they go back into the Lanturn, I can go for that Rock Tomb. Let's see what they're coming back into here. They decide to go into a Pachirisu, and so we are forced to go for that Overheat here. Overheat does basically double the amount of damage. Boom. Definitely doing quite a lot there, but we are still not going to be in a great spot. Like, not gonna lie, this is still going to be basically impossible to win. We are forced to go now for... we cannot survive this one. I think this is going to be game over. I don't think this is going to be something that we can win still. Yeah, I can go for a Shadow Ball. I was hoping that the opponent would swap out here. This was my only way of trying to still win the battle, and sadly they still have the Lanturn in the back. Double Electric is just a little bit tricky for us here, but yeah, good game there to the opponent. We can move on to the next one. We're going to have here the Lanturn in the lead. Look at this, like honestly, like I had so many Lanturns here as well, which is quite rare, I would say. I did not really encounter too many Lanturn here today, but apparently this is still a thing. We're going to see the Skeleton coming in here, which is kind of okay for me. I am going to let the move go through. I am going to go for 2 more Fast moves, and I am also going to go for a Rock Slide now, which is going to do quite a lot of damage. But I think I make a little bit of a misplay here. Let's see if this was actually the case. I did try to go for the charge move, but I think I over-tapped by 1, and so the opponent got to the disarming voice, which is okay. We can go for the full farm now here with Magcargo. We get some energy advantage, and now can Magcargo sweep an entire team, especially a Lanturn? I doubt it, but we can see if there is still something that we can do here. I guess we are forced to use a shield on the double super effective serve. It is going to be basically impossible to win this one, right? We can swap out onto the Jellicent to try to preserve our Magcargo. Basically, that's the most important thing about this team as well. Like, Jellicent is cool in general with some energy already, but trying to keep all your Pokemon kinda alive for like those certain situations is quite important. Look at this. This is our only hope of winning this game. Look at the Typhlosion. We can knock them out straight away. We still have a shield, and so it comes down to Incinerate damage against the Lanturn, and let's see how this is going to go. This is going to be quite a victory. So this is going to be it for this battle, and this is also going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Would really appreciate it. If you want to see more on this kind of style, then leave a like as well, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.